Oh man, I love Donkey Konga. That I can. Okay. Helix versus Mechanica. So Glee going with those faithful slappers for the first round. Mongoose with the homie whammer, the standard Mongoose opener. Ooh. And we might be seeing... If those slappers are charged, then they're very good against Mechanica, because that fire element is just going to knock her to the ground regardless of armor. If they're not charged, that's when we're going to see Mechanica like really pushing back, because that's when the armor is just going to soak those hits and that homie's going to worm its way in against Helix. Let's take a closer look. So we see Mongoose with Flurry, tries to go for it. Helix maintaining that block and sneaking a good grab in. And now Glee is going to be sitting on his Flurry. Ooh, an unfortunate positioning on that Flurry. And that Whammer is actually doing good work for Mongoose against Helix. It's an arm that's able to come in and punish the landing on the ground. Oh, the explosion just saves Mongoose, gives Mongoose one last chance in this match. Unfortunately, it's not quite enough to save from that last slapper sneaking its way around. I need to find my bongos. I used to play Donkey Konga 2-player, but just like solo with 2 pairs of bongos and just like drumming on both at once. Curiously, GleeFace has not made his usual change to double toaster. I would assume that's because he fears the homie and would rather be able to use the slappers to punish the homie. Oh, I'm getting caught by that Flurry. Glee's now sitting on Flurry, but instead of the usual, I need to use my Flurry to get an advantage, Glee needs to land that Flurry to make up that lost health. Oh, the explosion is always there, always waiting. Oh! Mongoose is just putting the pressure on Glee right now. It's the fact that that homie can just come around one direction and the Coolerang will slap you from the other. It's effective. Could we see a Flurry to close the match out? Don't even need it. Mongoose is confident enough the homie is going to find its target. That means a bold opening Flurry. Oh, does manage to do about 300 combined damage between those 2 attacks. Actually, being that close to Mechanica is what nobody wants. Glee has swapped to the double toaster setup now, however. Let's see if it pays off for him. If he keeps the pressure on and keeps stopping the homie at a good distance, then it can work out. But if Mongoose can sneak that homie in, like she's managing, then it's going to be just as effective as always. Oh my, another big chunk of damage. Glee able to land a Flurry and punish, but still on a serious health deficit right now. But he's brought that back. That has made no difference to him. Managed to bring it back and managed to make it work. Not sure why, but Mongoose just suddenly became very grounded towards the end of that match, which just led to many charged toasters to the face. And you know, sure, that arm is there with Mechanica, but it's not going to stop when those fiery fists come flying. Tony, stop lying. Oh no! Hat overboard. And Glee, right, here we are up in the Sky High Ring. Glee sticking with the double toaster setup, Mongoose sticking with the homie Coolerang setup. Mongoose has a good life lead. What we need is for that pressure to be maintained, not to get trapped when the fiery toasters come. Getting put in that moat around the side is even more terrifying when it's Helix keeping you stuck down there with those good angles on his punches. And now the health situation is very close, very close. Both fighters one mistake away from failure. Mongoose trying to be very careful. Oh, a very good block. Oh, and a nice scoop there for Glee. Blocking that full flurry. Sliding that grab round. Managed to sneak that match away. And now we see Glee swapping to those Slappermanders, wanting to mix up his play a little bit. Let's see if if this works out for him. Well, being able to land that early flurry is going to help. Only 180 damage though. Mongoose has proven though that she's very good at getting an early lead, but it often goes a little downhill later on in the match. That's normally when GleeFace manages to bring things back. A bold flurry, but I think GleeFace has actually finally gotten used to those quick activations, and he's now punishing them very effectively. And Glee about to get his own flurry. He's just slooping around that moat, showing Helix's rather liquid foundations. Mongoose is going to need to try and put the homie more purposefully in his way, probably with jump punches if she's going to hope to get him. Oh, that is a cheeky explosion. Let's get the dramatic angle for the end here. Only 5 seconds left. Can GleeFace, if GleeFace can get his flurry charged, he might be able to do enough damage, but unfortunately not. And Mongoose will go into this final round with flurry charged. Both players have flurry charged, and we see Glee swapping to those double toasters, that arm setup that has worked very well for him. And that was some better movement. He had a lot more of a jump. He got out of the way of the explosion. Unfortunately, Coolerang and Homie just both coming round and in on Helix. That is some pressure he does not want to have to deal with. I do feel that maybe if he angled Helix forward, used one punch to counter the Homie, one punch to go for Mechanica, and then angled Helix back, he might effectively avoid the Coolerang. But you know, right now might not be the time to experiment with such fanciful movements. Mongoose now sat on a flurry, connects but not with the full amount. Now GleeFace is one mistake away. And that is an arm break into a cheeky little bit of damage. And he just catches Mooface on the wake up. Mooface? Mongoose. Mooface? Where did I get that from? That is Richie. He works at Pokemon. Very good games from both of you. However, it will be GleeFace moving on to the next round. Don't go anywhere, GleeFace. We will need you right now.